Farmers considering cover crops for their commercial crops worry the practice might reduce yields. That wasn't the case in a 3-year study conducted by University of Arkansas agronomists at 3 locations in the state. A mix of Austrian winter peas and black-seeded oats produced the highest yields in the study, according to Dr. Trent Roberts. He spoke at the U of A's Virtual Rice and Soybean Field Day.
So the first thing that I want to discuss are some of the differences that we've seen in yield over the course of this study. Now what I want to do is preface this by saying we've done this particular study at 3 different locations across the state for a minimum of 3 years to build the data set that I'm going to be talking to you about today. So our first location is here at the Pine Tree Research Station in St. Francis County near Colt, Arkansas. The second location is going to be at the Rower Research Station in southeast Arkansas in Deshay County. And the third location is going to be at the Vegetable Substation near Kibler, Arkansas in Crawford County. And the reason we chose those 3 locations is it gives us different environmental conditions, it gives us different soils to look at, and then it's just going to change the way the soybean react to the environment as well as the cover crops. Now the cover crops that we're looking at in these studies, as I mentioned before, there's a wide range. But the key thing that we wanted to do was try to compare to what we consider a traditional system that still includes tillage, but does not have any type of winter cover crop treatment. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we have a traditional wheat soybean double crop system where the wheat is grown and produced for grain and then followed by soybean after wheat harvest. Now, one thing that we hear a lot as agronomists across the state is people don't like the wheat double crop soybean system anymore because waiting to harvest the wheat, significantly pushes back your soybean planting. And we know that there's a very strong relationship between soybean planting date and yield potential. And so one of the comments that we get a lot from producers is, the yield that I lose from planting my soybean late following wheat is too much of a profit loss for me to continue with that system. And that's part of the reason we wanted to include that in this study. So if we just talk about yield first, the one thing that I want to mention is that we did see significant differences across the cover crop treatments, with our highest yield being about a 3-year average of 63 bushels per acre, and that came following our Blend 2, which is essentially a 50-50 split of Austrian winter pea and black seeded oats. And so that was our best yielding treatment. If we compare that to our fallow treatment, the fallow treatment yielded about 57 bushels per acre as a 3-year average. And then our lowest yielding treatment was that wheat double crop soybean system, and it came in at about 53 bushels per acre. So what you can see is the range from our highest to lowest yielding treatment was about 10 bushels per acre, with our traditional, what we would say, producer practice coming in right at the middle of the pack. And so we do see significant differences in soybean yield as we implement these different crop production practices, with our highest yielding treatments coming following cover crops in rotation.